being overweight, life was really difficult. Mostly kind of emotionally for me, I really struggled. I felt really low a lot of the time.
Health-wise, not being able to walk up the stairs, going for long walks, sleeping, stopping breathing in your sleep, you know, not getting a decent night's sleep. The mental side of things, it really aggravated my depression.
I suffered badly from postnatal depression after my eldest was born, and that's when my weight ballooned. I ended up at my heaviest, I was at 25 stone, and I was so unhappy.
I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. I had chronic pain in my liver area and I didn't know what it was. I was really worried about it. I had some ultrasounds on my abdomen and I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And I think that's what really triggered it for me, to be compared to somebody, to be compared to an alcoholic, if you like, that I've done that much damage to my liver. Was a bit of a wake-up point for me.
The impact on your health, you know, I was only 30 years old and had back pain, I could barely walk. The 10 minutes home from work, I'd wait for a lift, I'd stay 2 hours longer at work just so I could get a lift home without having to walk. And it's draining being overweight.
My weight affected me physically. Obviously my appearance, I looked really unhealthy, obviously where I was carrying the extra weight. My skin was really bad. Just you would just look at me and think that girl does not look after herself. Mentally, my mental health was in a really bad way. I became quite depressed, very anxious. I just became a total recluse. I went from being the girl that always wanted to go out with her friends to literally making and breaking plans all the time.
I was basically a hermit. I couldn't walk very far. I used walking sticks. I literally got into my car, drove to work, worked all day, didn't move from my desk, and then got into my car and drove home, and that was it.
My blood pressure was really high. I had to start blood pressure medication. And that was something I hated as well. You know, I'm 39 and I started blood pressure medication when I was 35. To me, that's just far too young to be doing that. I used to get really bad palpitations. I was borderline diabetic. And working in the profession that I do, I'm a nurse. It's not really a good example, or I feel that it's not a really good example, and I felt that my patients deserved better of me if I'm trying to advise them.
After my daughter was born, her health, she wasn't in great health, and I think once she kind of pulled through and we were home and kind of starting family life, it actually dawned on me that my own health is very important, and I actually need to start looking after myself a lot more, because just being in the hospital with my daughter, obviously I was away from my son, so long term, being so overweight and so unhealthy, I might not be here for either of them, and actually I really need to start doing something about it. Diets in the past hadn't worked, and for me this was the only long-term answer.
I have had a couple of heart scares in the past. One, I think it was around 2013, where I ended up in hospital for a good while. I wasn't healthy. It was just that, and I was scared. I was scared that I wasn't going to be around for my kids.
Life since surgery has been so much better. It's had such a phenomenal impact on my mood, which I kind of knew it would, because I had lost weight in the past and felt much better, but actually how quickly and how dramatically it's impacted on my mood and feeling more confident and feeling happier has quite shocked me, actually.
The difference I've noticed in me as a person within the last year is massive. You know, I feel more confident, I feel healthier, people comment on how much better I look, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Probably the best, well, it is the best thing I've ever done. It's just changed my life completely. Everyone says I'm like a different person. Like, I feel like this is who I am, and I'm not defined by my weight anymore. I mean, I'm not at my goal weight yet, but I know that I will get there. So I just can't wait to see what life's like further in the future.
I feel like I've got my life back. I feel like I've got me back. You know, my confidence is kind of through the roof again. You know, like I'm so happy.
My life is completely different now. My entire life has changed. Even just the way I carry myself is just completely different. I can walk down the street with a wee bit of pride in myself.
I'm sleeping better. I'm not. You know, I'm not like that at all. I'm quiet to the point where he's having to poke. Are you awake? Are you alive? But yeah, no, a lot better. Lot better. I can do horse riding now. I love horses. Till I fell off one and it scared me. Yeah, brilliant. Absolute brilliant.
I have got a bike and I ride my bike and I walk my dogs for 10 miles, which I couldn't have walked 10 yards before without walking sticks. I go to Scotland every year and I've been going to the same place every year for the last 8 years. And last year I finally managed to do the American Memorial Walk, which I've never been able to do. But it's brought me and my husband closer as well.
I was so lethargic and I never had any kind of get up and go about me, whereas now it will be kind of wake up at the weekend, right, let's go and do this, let's go and do that, and let's go swimming. And Charlie, he's 6 and he's like, really? Like, that's normally the sort of thing we do with Daddy, but Mummy comes now and we're much more of a family unit. So it's definitely brought us closer together.
I'm a year on now. I'm no longer on blood pressure medication. I'm no longer borderline type 2 diabetic. So I don't take any medication anymore apart from multivitamins. So I've got healthier weight to thank for that as well.